I mean, look at this picture here.
This is what the U.S.-Russian relationship has come down to.
So what is going on?
U.S. President Barack Obama laughing about his frosty relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin on a late-night comedy show.
And Putin seems to me like one of those old-school KGB guys.
Well, he headed up the KGB.
Yeah, well, that's right. What I mean. Yeah.
And now Obama's going to Sweden and not Moscow, canceling his planned summit with the Russian president, describing the tensions as basically Putin's fault.
But there have been times where they slip back into Cold War thinking and a Cold War mentality. And what I consistently say to them and what I say to President Putin is that's the past. And we've got to think about the future.
U.S. officials admit it's mostly because of Edward Snowden, the man who told the world about U.S. spying, granted asylum in Russia. But they insist it's also because of fights over Syria, missile defense, and human rights. The Russians call the decision disappointing. It's a new low for a relationship the Obama administration had said was critical to reset, even using a prop to prove the point at the beginning of his first term.
This says перегрузка, which means overcharge.
President Obama said it would improve in a second, even though he didn't know he could be heard saying this.
This is my last election, yeah. After my election, I have more flexibility.
Flexibility the U.S. is no longer willing to show, according to analyst Andrew Kuchins.
The administration was not getting a response from the Russians that they were ready to deal.
President Obama will travel to Russia for the G20, even if he'll refuse to meet with its host. The U.S. Secretaries of Defense and State will meet with their counterparts this week, a sign that despite diplomatic slaps and scrapes, the two countries will almost certainly have to continue working together over the long term, even if they just don't seem happy about it. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.